Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, and today's video is titled, Why I Personally Think that Fax Numbers and Toll-Free Numbers in this day and age are a complete waste of money. So let's jump right into this, and I'm going to explain to you guys why I think that everybody in the business market, this day and age, that has access to a voice over IP system and email should not be using fax and should not be using a toll-free number. So let's hop right into this. So there are a lot of people that I get calls from pretty much daily. I get calls from people that say, hey, Prince, I found you on YouTube, I found you online. Can you help me get a new voice over IP phone system or get new internet service or whatever it may be? And then my answer is, of course. And then I have a questionnaire that I ask to basically try to find out, learn a little bit more about the business, who they are, what they do for a living in the world of business, and then what specific needs they require, in this case, specifically to business phone systems. One question that I always ask in every single, pseudo phone interview, or we'll say discovery call as I like to call them, is do you require a toll-free number or a fax number? I would say for every 5 people that I talk to, probably 2 of them needs, that's not a startup business. Usually anybody who's a startup business, they're kind of with the times and they're like, you know what, I'm not even going to bring that on because it's extra expense. But for existing businesses, I would say every 2 out of 5 persons that I talk to says that they need a fax or a toll-free number. Here is the reason why I think that it's a complete waste of money. We're going to start bashing fax first. And by fax, I'm not just talking about just your regular plain Jane fax, like in a machine, like paper in, paper out. I'm also talking about paperless fax, like even in the digital or in the online portal sense. In my opinion, this is why God invented email, If you want to send somebody something this day and age between scanners and telephones, even on my cell phone, I have I think it's a Google Drive program or something that costs me nothing, where I can scan any document professionally and it just automatically turns it into a merged PDF, even if it's a multi-page document, onto my phone, and then I can email it to anybody that I want. I don't need a paperless fax. I don't need a fax machine to do that, because at this point in time, anybody with a legitimate business has email, right? And everybody's got a cell phone too. But in my opinion, I feel like that's part of the reason why God invented email, is to send electronic documents and also other things other than documents, like files, videos, images, whatever, text, explanations, to and fro without having to send a piece of paper or something like that. So that's my take on fax. It's old, it's antiquated, and for the most part, email for most people is free. And then even though for businesses, even my email, like a professional G Suite, it's not free, but it still costs a whole heck of a lot more than what the cost of ink and paper, and also the cost of a fax, per month extra, on top of what I'm paying for phone and email, which I have to have anyways for communications costs. So I just feel like, me personally, it's an unnecessary expense, and it's just kind of an archaic way of doing things when everybody's using email these days. So now we're going to bash the toll-free numbers. As far as the toll-free numbers, this is why God created 2 things. Number 1, cell phones. There isn't anybody that I know of in the United States, or anywhere in the world for that matter, that in their country of residence, their cell phone cannot call any other person in any other state, city, province, canton, whatever you want to call it, in that country, and not and incur long distance charges. Cell phones these days, in just about any and every country in the world, there is no such thing as long distance. That being said, it's safe to say that most people that are going to be calling your business from potentially another city or state outside of your locale, they're going to be calling from a cell phone. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, what if they're not calling from a cell phone, Prince? Okay, with everything going on right now, and I'm not going to say what it is so that we don't get flagged by YouTube about information on this thing going on in the news that everybody knows is the new normal and is news right now. Because of what's going on right now in current events, the entire world is switching, or has already switched, to voice over IP to combat social distancing, to combat being able to work from home, or work from home one day and work from the office in the other day, or to combat being able to work dispersed. In short, without going down, that tangent, voice over IP is the new normal for telecommunications. There is no voice over IP carrier that I know of currently, and I represent them all, that charges long distance charges for you to call outside of your city or state. Any and every voice over IP carrier that I know of, that I represent daily and represent for other persons and help them procure services for, allows you to call anywhere in the United States unlimited without incurring any long distance. In fact, there are some voice over IP providers that I work with daily that will even let you call to Canada and even places like Mexico, and it is still considered a local call, or what we call unlimited no charge long distance calling. That being said, it's safe to say that by the end of 2020 and definitely by the end of 2021, the vast majority of people in the United States, especially businesses, will have access to a cell phone or voice over IP, which incur no long distance when calling anywhere in your native country, when making domestic calls anywhere in your country of residence. So that pretty much is kind of my take on why they're a waste of money. There's one final point that I want to touch on about why, in my opinion, faxing and toll-free is a waste of money. We've already covered the way that the technology has evolved and the fact that there is no such thing as long distance anymore, and the fact that God created email and email pretty much supersedes fax. Carriers also, at the time of this video, and I'm not going to name which ones, but I've mentioned it to some of you who have called me and I've talked to over the phone. There are many carriers that also feel the same way as I do right now in this video. Some of them are actually on purpose starting to charge extra, in some cases as high as double the price, and charging per minute fees or per fax fees to basically try to get people to stop using archaic technology known as fax and known as toll-free or 1-800 numbers. So I just want to throw that out there. You know, some of these carriers, they're purposefully trying to charge more for it and hike their prices to get you to stop using it. Okay, one other thing that I want to touch on before we leave. If you're watching this, because I do understand that there are some businesses out there, whether it be because of finance or because you work with the federal government or state governments or whatever legal mandate it may be or whatever compliance rule that you may be under that I'm not aware of, you do still require, you have to use fax, or you do still require a toll-free number. Maybe you've got to use fax because, you know, your client with the government or with the state or whatever requires you to only send things by fax and not by email for security reasons. I get that. Maybe you've had a 1-800 number for eons in the phone book, and you've got thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that call that number, and you can't just give it up because that's lost money. You can justify the cost. I get that. If you're looking for a voice over IP provider that offers at least one free fax and one free 1-800 or toll-free number slot, you know, and you're trying to look at cutting your cost, Nextiva is the one. I did a video about this in a previous video, which I'll tag in the description below or up in the tag above. But Nextiva offers a one free fax number slot and one free toll-free number slot for, you know, all business plans. So that's an easy out there if you're somebody that falls in the category of not being able to just completely scrap fax and scrap 1-800 numbers. So that pretty much concludes this video. If you're watching this video and you're looking for a carrier that not only has a good voice over IP platform with the features that you need for your business, but you'd like to find one that either offers a free fax or toll-free number, like I just mentioned, like Nextiva does, or you're looking for one that offers, you know, decent pricing. Maybe you've got more than one fax number or more than one toll-free or 1-800 number that you need to port into the new system. Give me a call. I do this all day long. Once I know a little bit more about your business and about what your specific business phone system, you know, features and requirements are, I can easily match you up with the right carrier and also get you special pricing, much better offers than what you could get if you shop direct. So give me a shout or message me via my information below. So again, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, your go-to guy for the best deals on business phone and internet service in the United States. I'll talk to you guys again in the next video.